Hi, I'm Clinton.
I'm Claude, and we're the lamest defenders. So, Clinton, I have a joke for you. What's the main difference between Daredevil and Wanda?
I do not know.
Daredevil doesn't need vision to kick ass.
Hi, Thanos. We're the lamest defenders.
I don't even know who you are.
We have a small but dedicated fan base.
Be sure to visit our sponsor at BaskervilleProductions.com. Hi, welcome back. So, just so everybody knows who's watching this, we're spoiling everything. Like, there's not going to be no spoiler left unturned. So, it's...
Open your mouth. Get ready to feed.
So anyway, like the plot opens up with like Defender Strange and America Chavez.
He's got a ponytail now.
Yeah, Defender Strange has a ponytail, and he
first thing I noticed.
Yeah, and so he's with America Chavez, and they're just trying to escape some monster who we find has been created by Wanda, who is in the full Scarlet Witch mode because she's trying to get America Chavez because she can jump multiverses, which I'm going to be honest with you, I have no idea if that's America Chavez's power. She's had like 12 comics, and I didn't read any of them, so I don't know. And I really don't care.
In your defense, and everyone's defense, honestly, is no one really cares about this character.
No,
honestly,
no
like it was just Marvel's thing in the 2010s.
She sold like 3,000 copies of her comic, and I imagine 2,900 were returned. I just don't imagine like anybody read this.
It was just a thing where it was just like Disney and Marvel were just shooing in characters, and if they made a good storyline for her, I haven't heard about it.
No, that said, I didn't like. I kind of liked her in this movie.
Yeah,
like there were, except her background, which we will get to because that was the unintentionally the hilarious part of this movie. But so Strange is basically. So America Chavez ends up with the dead body of Defender Strange.
Kids want to see a dead body
in the 616, which they call it that now. It is canonically 616, which is awesome in the MCU. And
he might Peter Parker.
So Strange is talking to Chavez, and they just basically like piece together what's going on. And Scarlet Witch, like I said earlier, wants to be with her sons from WandaVision. This movie continues. This is honestly a better conclusion to WandaVision. I feel it wraps up WandaVision fantastic.
Well, WandaVision kind of like it ended on its face. Like they really screwed that up at the end.
So as they're just like, it's just basically Wanda is almost like a Terminator. Mm-hmm. She just keeps coming. Like she does not stop. Like,
going through each because Chavez and Strange are trying to run. And they're trying to run through different universes, and it's just her because she has the power of the Darkhold to possess whatever reality or whatever dimension they're in version of herself. Yeah. And so, and one of the coolest things was like one version that she possesses is actually her as a successful mother. Yeah. And we'll get to that, but that was really cool.
That was one of the highlights of the movie for sure. So so getting to the absolute ridiculous America Chavez.
That didn't take long.
No, it didn't. I want to remember it because it's so funny to me. But so she has in her dimension I guess she has two mothers. That's her. That's how they are. But she's holding a flower or something like this. Yeah. She's holding a flower, and then this tiny little bee, like just this. I don't even know what they're like, and it's just
a really bad CGI bee too. Yeah,
lands on her, and I guess she's Nicolas Cage from The Wicker Man. And then, like, she just screams, and these stars show up behind her mothers, and they just get sucked out into whatever. I'm like, is this her? Is this the Marvel Comics characters, like, backstory? Because this is a joke.
Well, if you
this is stupid.
If you have no idea who this, character is, even beforehand, or even watch maybe 2 Marvel movies, even a year, or maybe a series, and then they start the movie out with fucking... Doctor Strange, a version of Doctor Strange, and this random little girl, and then you have no idea what's going on. I looked over to my wife; she's like, I'm like, well, let's just keep rolling.
Yeah. Meanwhile, my wife and I were laughing at that scene. We couldn't believe what just happened. Like, a bee, really? That's what triggered this whole thing.
And then
It was like the rat in Endgame. Like,
Yeah,
it's just
and
so
then
stupid.
There's a couple dialogue scenes, or just straight up scenes that are like unintentionally hilarious. That was one of them. And then my personal favorite one was when I knew I was like, oh man, this movie's getting off to a rough start. When Doctor Strange is dying in the very beginning. And he needs to basically suck the soul out of Chavez to steal her powers. So he wraps her up, and she's like, "Wait, we're friends." And then her acting is on point. And then she's like, "BDSM." We'll talk about that later. And she's like this, and then she's like, and the camera kind of pans in. But you're hurting me. I started to laugh, and I was like, I hope her acting picks up after this. And it did, but that did not start off the movie great for me.
And there's another scene where they're at the fortress. Scarlet Witch is going to attack to try to get Chavez, and Wong, I forget the actor's, I know it's Benedict something, I forget the actor's last name, but he's like, students, steal your minds. It was like the way he said minds. Again, I'm losing it in the theater. I'm laughing hysterically at this part. Like, that's an interesting choice to read that line that way. Like, that was hilarious.
It's just a Sam Raimi movie to me. Like,
oh my gosh, that's just it. Like, so that's a great segue. So I love the direction of this movie. Like, it was like a horror movie, honestly.
Yeah, it was great.
Like,
MCU's first horror movie is what Kevin
and
used.
it was different, and it was a little more serious, and it was it's kind of like a DC movie. So it was a nice change of pace.
Only the exception is this one was good.
Yeah, it actually had like decent elements to it on the whole. Like, they made Wanda absolutely terrifying.
That was awesome.
I thought this was the best version so far of the Dark Phoenix saga, where you have like this almost, in the movie version, where it's like you have this almost unstoppable force, and she's just consuming. She's just taking everything.
But that's a low bar to hit.
It is. Yeah, no, I mean, the first two weren't that great, but I am actually I am very excited for how they will do the Dark Phoenix saga in the MCU, because I think they're just going to crush it.
If they do it, because it's already been done so many times, but so is Spider-Man, so
yeah,
we'll see.
For sure. So, speaking of Wanda doing this absolute killing things literally on screen, the Illuminati scene,
by far,
which was awesome. Everybody, like, unfortunately the leaks were there. Almost everybody knew. But
I was texting you like 3 weeks before the movie came out.
I asked him to please stop.
I was like, I ain't doing that.
and yes, like, we do see Baron Mordo's there. We have Captain Carter.
Awesome. I love
he was great.
Mordo.
Captain Carter was great. I loved that. Was kind of cool. That was cool to see her as that. It was neat.
Yeah.
And then you had Captain Marvel, who was Rambo's
mother. So that was
mother,
Carol Danvers' best friend in the first Captain Marvel movie.
But it was also because I did not know Black Bolt was in this. Played by Anson Mount, currently on Star Trek: Strange New Worlds, and he was the original Black Bolt in the Inhumans show that bombed horribly. But he was in the comic accurate costume. He looked awesome.
He did.
Like, it was so cool. I was like, oh, please bring him back for this, because he was awesome.
Yeah.
And then the highlight for me was John Krasinski. John Krasinski as Reed Richards. Like, that was awesome. I loved that.
And then Patrick Stewart as Professor X, and
So,
I coomed in the theater whenever it was the X-Men, the cartoon theme. Yeah, it was maybe like 2 seconds. Yeah, I was like, oh my god.
And the yellow hover chair, and as he's reading minds, you've got like the stupid circles.
And then he's
out.
Like this too.
Yeah. So dumb. It was great. And like, I never understood that. Like, why him and Magneto, they both had to just do this. Like, you can't do that without putting your temples in your finger, whatever. But so like, Wanda just tears them apart in like 3 seconds. But my favorite death was
Captain Marvel, you sexist pig.
No, my favorite death was Black Bolt, because Reed Richards is basically telling her, like, oh yeah, he could kill you with just a single word with his mouth. He goes, what mouth? And it's just gone.
Yeah. And
he screams, and it blows a hole in his skull.
That's pretty brutal for Marvel.
Like, this was an intense PG-13 movie, just on that scene alone. Especially with Captain Carter, too. Wanda throws the
got Darth
shield.
Maul. Yeah,
cuts her in half. She's like,
I was like, please let this be the end of this character, because I'm just so sick of it. But probably not.
No. So, like, and that's the thing about, people are saying, like, oh, is John Krasinski going to come back? Is blah, 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 which I think they will, because you have Patrick Stewart as Charles Xavier. You have I forget her name, as Peggy Carter.
Yeah,
And then
Haley
you've got,
Atwell.
thank you. Yeah, and then John Krasinski. So I think that might be the standard because that will be the same person in every universe. So
It could be, but I mean, look at Peter Parker because the variants are
That's
different.
true, too.
Yeah, but they also had in the Loki show and everywhere else is you can have variants that look the same too.
That's a fair point. Yeah.
Who knows? It's
So,
up in the air.
Yeah, but I'm hoping that this actually leads to Secret Wars, which
Yeah, that'd be
it's
sweet.
probably where it's going to go. I have a feeling that's how they're going to introduce into the MCU proper Fantastic Four and X-Men.
Dr. Doom.
I feel like
Yeah.
like that could be great. That'd
Please
be
get John
so
Hamm for
awesome.
Dr. Doom.
John Hamm. Oh, that would be good. Yeah, I could see that. Another highlight for me was the Sorcerer's Apprentice fight with between the two strangers as he's flipping through, jumping through worlds.
It's an edgy Strange.
Yeah, and with a third eye from using the dark hole too much. But it was
I don't know
definitely
what his dog looks like.
yeah. It was definitely like something out of Fantasia, which I thought was awesome. Like I really enjoyed that. That was a very nice touch. Again, just this movie was so weird.
It was weird.
I loved it. It was so it was different. Like,
Some
I
might
thought
say
great.
it was a little strange.
Oh, no one said that.
Yeah, I know you said you loved the music fight scene. I was like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
But, whatever.
Some people don't have taste.
Yeah.
It's totally fine. I deal with it every day because
This simpleton. But I thought it'd be funny because I was like, if I was a director of this movie and then I'd have Doctor Strange on the other side of the
need
room.
more Spider-Man.
Well, yeah, that. I mean, that's the first big problem with Sam Raimi, no Spider-Man. And have the evil Doctor Strange in the corner and he's got a lighter and he's farting. And then, those big music notes that was just all bass. It'd be like Hans Zimmer farts just going around. That's my version of this. That'd be the correct. It'd be the correct multiverse. It's like the fat, drunk uncle version of Doctor Strange. He's like farts. Going off the rails.
Yeah, a little bit. So, like the first Doctor Strange movie, he doesn't really beat the villain. America Chavez just takes her to the vision, or takes her to the universe she wants to be in with her two sons.
Yeah.
And she almost kills the Wanda in that vision to get it. And the boys are just terrified of her. They're like throwing stuff at her.
Well, there is some questionable acting from the boys.
What are you gonna do? But yeah. It was and it just makes her realize that I'm not. And then like the Wanda Maximoff in that universe says like, just know that they're loved. And get the hell out of here, basically. So
they could have started, because Doctor Strange was like, just believe in yourself, you can do it. And then she's like, okay. And then she picks a universe and shows Wanda. I was like, couldn't he just give her that pep talk like the first 5 minutes of the movie?
yeah, but then we wouldn't see them as paint.
Yeah, that's true. We wouldn't have saw.
That was a weird one.
We wouldn't
That was
be able to
weird.
see Krasinski as.
Yeah, it's
Reed
true.
Richards.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'll take the
It's
2
like
hours.
a 10-second, whatever.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like so, because I mean, honestly, Wanda was ridiculously overpowered, and not like she's not that strong in real life. No,
Yeah.
she was awesome in this movie. Like it was honestly like the Scarlet Witch movie, and Doctor Strange was a side character in some.
Yeah,
points.
when are they
Like,
going to make like a straight up Wanda movie? I would love to see that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like it sucks though because one thing I did not like about this movie was how Strange seemed to have forgotten his powers.
Yeah.
Still, the best version of Doctor Strange we've ever seen was for 3 minutes in Avengers: Infinity War, where he's fighting Thanos,
And
It's
he's
like,
only gotten better since
yeah,
then.
it's
and
just like show that more.
Yeah.
Like that was awesome. I love that. I mean, you think Sam Raimi would be perfect for that? And the whole he was like the movie was really enjoyable.
Yeah.
but that was a big problem I had with like where's this? Why isn't he doing anything?
Right. And I know we harp on Chavez a lot, but it just feels like they are shoehorning her into this so they can do the Young Avengers crap, and it's just like they're just rushing it. And I want a little bit of a build up to that if they do that.
Yeah.
Plus, I have no interest in any of the Young Avengers. I just really don't care.
Yeah.
So
You're most of the comic reading.
yeah, the people that actually read the comics just don't care.
Yeah,
So,
pretty much. But
can you
that's a discussion for another day.
Yeah, or a different YouTube channel.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give this movie?
Honestly, as much as I harped on this movie, I loved it. I mean, like the fights were awesome. Wanda is one of my favorite MCU characters.
We didn't get to Shogarath. Shogarath.
Well, it turns out it's not Shuma-Gorath.
Shuma-Gorath,
Yeah,
thank you.
but it's
Looks a
not.
lot like him.
Yeah, it looks identical.
Sorry, real quick before we move on, and you give your score. I'm sorry about that. I loved the scene where Hugh McGrath lookalike is destroying things, and then all of a sudden, this random guy on a motorcycle just like drives right into him like he didn't see it. He's like a 4-story tall octopus thing. You don't see it? That's
Dude,
another point.
If they
I was laughing pretty hard at that.
Yeah, if they would have like unveiled his visor through the motorcycle he's crossed.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been awesome. But yeah, I mean, that being said, there was a lot of cool parts of this movie. We didn't even touch on Doctor Strange and Christine. I thought
I didn't care.
Yeah, I mean, I still like Rachel McAdams as an actress, and I feel like her and Benedict Cumberbottom have really good chemistry together, and I did enjoy those parts with her. The fight scenes, even the music stuff I harped on was still, I mean, it was visually cool. I loved all the different Doctor Stranges, and then kind of his story with Illuminati, their universe's version.
Yeah.
But that being said, I mean, it was just a classic, fun Marvel movie, and I think I would give this one probably, you know what? I'm giving it 8.2.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So if I were to give this movie a score on directing alone, I'd give it a 9. Just because, like, one of the greatest comic book movies, or superhero movies, is Spider-Man 2.
Glad you finally see it.
Which, Sam Raimi. And had that amazing scene with Dr. Octopus when he's on the operating table and those arms are going crazy. Like, that's a horse. Yeah. That's a horror movie.
With the buzzsaw.
Yeah, it was great. And, but it was just like, it was just missing some things for me. Again, like the Strange forgetting who he was, basically. Like that bothered me a lot. I really hope he does a third Doctor Strange movie, or he does something like this again, but with a different screenwriter. Or maybe it was the reshoots. I don't know. But I'm going to actually give this movie an 8. I thought it was a very solid movie, but it was just some things kind of holding it back a little bit. But it was visually the most exotic MCU movie yet. Like, these movies are so like just flat and like just straight, shots. This has got camera movements. It's going all over the place. It was awesome. I loved it. So yeah, I'll give it an 8.
Before we end this video, I forgot to mention the end credit scenes. It's Clea. It's her.
Oh, yeah.
It's her reveal. And I'm actually really excited to see that, because that has to do with a lot with Dormammu and the Dark Dimension. So we're probably going back into the third movie. And to your point, bring Sam Raimi back. I want to see what he does with the Dark Dimension. I think it'd be really sweet. And then Doctor Strange has got the third eye. So like, where are they going to go with that? But yeah, I'm really excited for Doctor Strange's future.
Make the third one longer. Make it like 2.5 hours. This felt too short.
Really?
I thought it could have been longer.
Agree to disagree. I thought it was a little bit too long.
2 minutes and 8 minutes. 2 hours and 8 minutes next time.
Make it 7. Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for watching our review, and we'll catch you guys later.
Thanks so much. Stay lame.
Bye.